Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we have Iron Man versus Expert Kang with the Master of Time modular set. So pull up a chair and let's see if Iron Man can win. Alright, so we got everything set up and ready to go. I've dealt the encounter card. We have him with his tough. I'm playing on Expert, as I said, and so he's got the 15 hit points. And this is with the Master of Time modular set, which has a difficulty of 6, I believe it is, from the rule book. So yes, and so this is the medium difficulty modular set that comes in Kang. So we're going to see if Iron Man can do it, and obviously I have him in Justice, because here's my starting hand. I'm going to do the mulligan, and I'm going to get rid of everything except for my Mark V armor and an under surveillance. So I'll discard those 4, and draw back up. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I only got 2 pieces of equipment. And so the first thing I'll do is Futurist. I'll draw the 3 Futurist cards, and well, I think I'll take Nick Fury and discard the other 2. All right, and so I think the next thing I'll do is I'm going to put under surveillance in with a Repulsor Blast and counterintelligence. And then I'm going to put in the rocket boots with foiled, which will bring him up to 10. And I want to hold on to these so that, you know, I can try to get my Mark V armor in and see if I can get Nick Fury in. And I'm going to stay as Iron Man, as Tony Stark one more turn, so I'll draw back up to 6 and move through the villain phase. Okay, so start of the main phase, put a threat here on the scheme. He will scheme for 1, for just 1. And so that'll bring it back up. It'll bring it up to 2. And then I have to deal with 2 encounter cards. The first one will be pinned down. When revealed, place 2 threat here for each obligation and play. But there are no obligations, so it's just going to come in with 2 threat. And then the other one will be a temporal shield. I attach that to Kang. And so when you deal damage, you discard that and then prevent all damage and from that attack and deal 1 damage to the attacker. All right, so we are back to Tony Stark. And we'll start with his Futurist ability. 1, 2, 3, and let's see. I'm actually going to take the energy, I think, and discard these other 2. And then I'm going to put in his Mark V armor with energy and rocket boots for 3, and that's going to bring him up to 16 hit points. And then I'm going to put in the power gauntlets with the strength. And I think I'll stay as Tony one more round. I think I can survive it. I think I'll be okay. So I'm going to stay there for one more round and draw up to 6 and then move to the villain phase. Okay, so at the start of the villain phase, we will put 1 threat on the main scheme. So now it's going to go up to 3 out of 11. And then he'll scheme for 1, 2. So that's going to put it up to 5 out of 11. And then the encounter card will be Ancient Grudge. When revealed, Kang, the Master of Time, activates against you. If he is not in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for him. Put him into play, engage you, shuffle the encounter deck. Okay, that's what I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to go find Kang, Master of Time. Alright, and here's Kang, Master of Time. He's going to get Toughness and Villainous, which means when he schemes or attacks, I deal him a boost card. And in addition to that, he gets +1 scheme and attack for each obligation in my play area. So he's going to be pretty nasty. I'm going to want to get rid of him. He'll have 6 hit points. All right, and he will come in with a Toughness. And that's going to do it for him. So back to Tony Stark, and I'm going to do Futurist again. 1, 2, 3, and I will keep my arc reactor because I want that. So the first thing I'll do is put Nick Fury into play with Genius, Repulsor Blast, and Counterintelligence. And I'm going to have him draw me 3 cards. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to put in my arc reactor with Spycraft and Daredevil. And then I'm going to put in my Mark V helmet No, I'm not going to use Daredevil, Spycraft, and Power of Justice. And then I'm going to put in my Mark V helmet with Stark Tower. I'll flip the Iron Man, and then the first thing I'll do is use my gauntlet to knock the tough off of this of the Kang Master of Time, which he does not have 10 health, he has 6. And then I'm going to thwart for 2 with Nick Fury to get rid of this pin down. And that's going to get it out of the way so I can start doing some thwarting with Iron Man. I'm going to thwart for 2. Arc Reactor, I'll let him ready. Thwart for 2 more for 4. 5 off the main scheme. And that's going to do it. So I'll ready. And then draw up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so start of the main phase. We've got 1 threat here on the main scheme. He's going to attack. I'm just going to let him do 5. Do the +2 because that's, his force interrupt. And because he's going to hit Nick Fury, so it's going to be 5. Just 5, and there's an advance, so that's good. And Nick Fury's done. And then this Kang is going to attack, and he'll just hit Iron Man for 1. Remember, he gets a card. So 1, 2, 3. That's going to knock Iron Man down from 16 to 13. And then the encounter card will be, oh, I hate this one, Stolen Memories, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to take 8 cards, place the top 8 cards of your deck face down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5, so I guess only 5 go under it. But I'm going to have to deal myself an encounter card. I'll shuffle this in a minute. And this one will be Light of Century Sphere. When defeated, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play engaged with the player who defeated the scheme. And it's going to come in with 3 threat. So I'll shuffle up my deck because it ran out, and then I'll move to Iron Man's turn. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go aerial, using clear the area for the middle resource there. And then I'm going to thwart for one off of each of the schemes. So that's going to drop that to 2. And the main scheme will go down to 1. I'm going to put Daredevil into play over here. With these 4 resources, and when he comes in, he'll come in with 3 health. He's going to thwart for 2 to get rid of this side scheme. So when defeated, discard from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. By the way, I'm going to hit him with 1, so that's going down to 5. And then so discard till a minion gets discarded, and we have a time displaced soldier. Insight 1, so that puts a threat on the main scheme, and he's going to surge, but he won't surge because he was discarded and put into play, which I think is what that said. Yes, so he'll come in with 3 health, and then I'm going to hit that minion that just came in, 1 with a power gauntlet, 1 with Iron Man, Arc Reactor to ready him, and hit 1 more, so it's going to be a total of 3. Go ahead and get this time displaced soldier out of the game. And I think I'll stay Iron Man at least 1 more turn. So I'm going to ready and then draw up to 6. Okay, so start the main phase. 1 threat here. He's going to attack. And I'm going to put a threat on the main scheme so that he doesn't attack for much. Because I'm going to have Iron Man just take it. And he'll get hit for 3. 4, 5, and that's going to drop him down to 8. And then the other King, let's see, there is a obligation, so he's going to get an attack of 2, 3, 4, dropping Iron Man down from 8 to 4. And then the encounter card will be Advance, okay? And there's nothing I can do about it, but that's okay. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and that's going to bring it up from 3 to 6 out of 11. And that's okay. We're good. We're going to go now back to Iron Man. And the first thing I'm going to do is have a Daredevil thwart for 2 to take 2 off of the main scheme, drop it from 6 back down to 4, and hit this King for 1. And then I'm going to put in his other powered gauntlet over here with counterintelligence and Spycraft. And then I'm going to go aerial using Stark Tower for the middle resource. And then I'm going to hit this Kang over here with 2/4 damage to finally get him out of the game. And then I'm going to thwart with Iron Man for 2. Ready him for 2 more for 4 to bring the main scheme down to 0. And then I'm going to flip to Tony Stark. And let's see, discard a mental resource from your hand, discard this obligation. I'm going to use this wild as a mental resource to get rid of this stolen memories so I can get my cards back. And there's Pepper Potts. I could have used her, and there's a supersonic punch, so I'm glad I did that. And that's going to be it. So we will ready and draw up to 6. Okay, so the start of the villain phase, 1 threat on the main scheme. And he will scheme for 1, 2, and I'll just let that go off. So that's going to go up to 3. And then the encounter card will be Fear of Kang. You cannot attack Kang. Alter ego action, discard a random card from your hand. Discard this obligation. Okay, so that's from the Master of Time set. So it'll sit in front of me and I can't hit Kang until I get rid of it. That's not a big deal. I can get rid of it right now because I am an alter ego. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have a card in hand that I don't mind getting rid of. So I'm going to put Quake into play with Genius. And she'll come in with 2 hit points. I'm going to put in Counterintelligence over here. Hopefully I won't forget about it with Energy. And then I might lose, I want to go aerial, but I might lose my Rocket Boots, but that's okay. So I will discard a card at random. It's either going to be foiled or Rocket Boots. And it will be Rocket Boots, unfortunately. That's okay, so I won't be able to go aerial. I mean, I guess I could use Futurist, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to heal Iron Man, bring him from 4 up to 7, and then I'll flip him back over. And let's see. So I will use a Power Gauntlet first to knock this Tough off. And so when Kang is attacked, discard Temporal Shield, prevent all damage from this attack. I wonder if that goes for the Tough. I'm not sure if it does, but I'm going to have to, I'm not going to be able to hit him with my Power Gauntlets anyway. So I'll just say that this goes first. And, oh, I can attack, oh yeah, I can attack Kang. I get rid of this because I discarded a card at random. So I'm going to discard the obligation. I'm going to hit with Power Gauntlet. The Temporal Shield's going to prevent it and deal 1 damage to the attacker. So he's going to go back down to 6. And then I'm going to use the other Power Gauntlet to remove the Tough. Quake is going to hit for 2. And that's going to drop him to 13. And then I'm going to ready Iron Man and thwart for 2, 3 on the main scheme. And that's going to be it. So I'll ready and then draw it to 7. Okay, so start of the main phase. 1 threat here. And Kang is going to attack. I'm just going to let him have the +2 attack because Quake's going to take it. So it's going to be 5, 6, 7. So she's done. And then the encounter card will be Gang Up. So this card, he's going to get attacked by Kang and each minion. Daredevil's going to take that. It's going to be 5, 6, 7. So Daredevil's got it. I didn't want to lose 2 allies in the same one. But I didn't want Iron Man to take any more damage. So we are back to Iron Man. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is put Endurance into play with the Under Surveillance. So that's going to heal him back to 9. All right. And then I'm going to put Jessica Jones in with Strength and Supersonic Punch. When she comes out, I'm going to have her attack for 2, which will drop her to 2. And it will drop him from 13 to 11. And then I'm going to thwart for 1 with a Mark V helmet so that the scheme goes to 0. I'm going to hit him for 2 with the Power Gauntlets. And then 1 Arc Reactor ready. 1 more for a total of 2. And 2 is 4 to drop him from 11 to 7. And then I'm going to Repulsor Blast with Foiled. So discard 5 cards. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. None of them are energy resources. Absolutely none of them, and I lost Nick Fury. So just one more damage, down to 6. That really sucks, but that is what it is. And you know, because of that, I've only got one card left. I'm just gonna flip to Tony Stark, and then he'll have 2 encounter cards. Well, I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but he's only got 9 health. I'm gonna flip to Tony Stark, and then ready and draw to 6. And that will mean that I have to deal myself an encounter card. I'll shuffle his deck and then draw back up to 6. Okay, so 1 threat on the main scheme. And he will scheme for 1, 2, 3, and I'll use counterintelligence to prevent that because he's going to have to deal with 2 encounter cards. So it's still only 1 there. And then the first encounter card is going to be caught off guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. If no cards are discarded this way, gain surge. Alright, discard an upgrade or support you control. And that is not good because it's either going to be endurance, which will cause him to lose 3 hit points, or one of my suits, and I don't really want to do that either. So I think I will just go. I mean, I can heal on my next turn. I'll lose the endurance, which means I'll go from 9 down to 6. Hope that's not a mistake. But like I said, I don't want to lose any of a suit. So the other one is going to be under fire. So reveal the top card, which will be time travel tactics. Each player takes 1 indirect damage for each obligation. There isn't any. That one's going to surge into Macrobots. So they'll come in with 4 health. And then under fire will surge into Stolen Memories, the retarded one that I had a minute ago. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that, so 8 cards in my deck are back in there. Fortunately, none of them are my suit, but I'm going to have to do something about that. We're back to Tony Stark. The first thing I'll do is heal for 3 to get him back to 9. I will use the Power of Justice as a mental resource to get rid of the Stolen Memories so that I can get these cards back into my deck. And then I'm going to put Mockingbird into play with the Genius and Lockjaw for 2 and 3. And she'll come in and stun him. And she'll come in with 3 health. And then I'm going to put Skilled Investigator into play over here. Hopefully I don't forget about it. But it's over there. When I defeat a side scheme, I can exhaust it to draw a card. Mockingbird's going to thwart for 1 on the main scheme. And then Jessica Jones is going to attack. Oh, no, she can't attack Kang. All right, well, I'm going to flip and attack for 1, 2 with Tony, and that means he's actually going to take 2 damage for retaliate down to 7. But I don't want to lose Jessica Jones. I'm going to use her to finish off this Macrobot. She won't get the retaliate damage. She'll just drop to 1, but he's out of the way. And then there's no threat on the main scheme. So that'll be it. I'll ready Iron Man and draw him up to 7. Okay, so 1 threat on the main scheme. He won't attack because he's stunned, and the encounter card will be Energy Blast. Kang attacks you. He's going to get the attack anyway. Well, Jessica Jones is going to take that, and so it's going to be 5, 6. So she's gone. Unfortunately, I didn't want her to have to go that soon, but it is what it is. But at least he didn't take any damage. We're back to Iron Man, and I'm going to put Pepper Potts into play using Clear the Area and energy for 2 and 3. And then I think I'm going to put Nick Fury into play using her to get energy for 2. Repulsor Blast, the 2 Repulsor Blasts for 3, 4. Hold on to this concussive blow. He's going to come in and deal the 4 damage and then hit for 2 for 6. And that's going to finish off Kang the Conqueror on that side. And it will drop him down to 2. And then, let's see, advance the main scheme to stage 2 at the end of the phase. And so that's all that he can do. So we're going to ready, and draw back up to 7. And so at the end of at the end of the phase, we're going to advance to stage 2. So this under surveillance will go, and these are all going to leave the game. We'll go to stage 2, which says 2A, when revealed, place 1 acceleration token here for each side scheme in play. There isn't a side scheme. And so then each player reveals a random stage 3A in turn order. So hopefully, well, I haven't fought against the present future war. So hopefully that's the one I get, but I don't care whichever one I get. I'm going to beat whoever it is and move on to stage 3 because I'm Iron Man, because I am Iron Man. And so my stage 3A is going to be the Chronopolis. Okay, I have fought that one before. That's going to bring in Kang and Mortis. And he will come in with 22 hit points, toughness, and then this villain cannot take damage while a minion is in play. So we're going to keep that in mind. So he will be tough. We'll put him back to 22. All right. And then this will be my new main scheme, and this will flip. And the Force Interrupt, when an acceleration token will be placed on another side, so you can place it here. I have to remember that. But that doesn't come in with any threat that it starts with. And so we are ready. That was into the hero phase. We're ready to go in to fight King of Mortis. So one threat here on the scheme. He's going to attack, and let's see, nothing else. He just can't be attacked while minions are in play. So Nick Fury's going to take the attack for 2. Give King a tough status card. He already has it. So that's good. And Nick Fury's gone. And then the encounter card is attached to your identity. So basically when he tries to ready, I discard that instead. Not too bad. So now we're going to go to Iron Man. And the first thing I'll do is use Mockingbird to knock the tough off of King and Mortis. And I can't attack because I can attack him because there's no minions in play. And then I'm going to use the Mark V helmet to remove this threat off the scheme. All right, and then I'm going to go aerial using rocket boots. And I'm going to hit King of Mortis for 2, 4. That's going to drop him down to 18. And then I'm going to go Supersonic Punch with Concussive Blow and Under Surveillance. That's 8. And then I'm going to do another Supersonic Punch with Agent Coulson and the Power of Justice. That's another 8 for a total of 16. Okay, so that's going to drop him down from 18 to 2. And unfortunately, I can't beat him this turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip to Tony Stark and heal him for 3 back up to 10. And that will do it. So I will ready everything. Tony's supposed to ready, but he can't. I'll discard that card. And I'll ready the rest of my cards and then draw up to 6. And if this goes off, that's okay. I'm not worried about it. I'm in pretty good shape. I don't think it will go off though. So I'll draw to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, maybe it will because I have to deal myself an encounter card. I'll shuffle, finish drawing, and it could go off. We'll see what happens. He does scheme for 3. Okay, so I drew up to 6. Reshuffled my deck, drew up to 6. And one threat on the main scheme. He's going to scheme for 3, 4, 5. So it's going to bring it up to 6 out of 9. And then I'll have to deal with 2 encounter cards. One of them is Macrobots. So guard and retaliate 1. So that's going to put it at 4. Put him at 4. And then the other one will be Corrupted Time Stream. Players cannot trigger alter ego actions on ability, on obligations. And then when revealed, each player must either discard 1 card from hand or place 2 threat here. I don't want to discard a card from hand at random. So I'll just place 2. I'll just place 4 threat on the scheme. It comes in with 2. I'll place 2 more. And we are back to Tony. Okay, since I'm on this side, I want a futurist. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to take Nick Fury. And then I'm going to put him in over here. You can't see him next to Pepper Potts, but he's over here. And he's going to come in with 2 concussive blows and strength for a total of 4. And when he comes in, I'm going to have him draw me 3 cards. So 1, 2, 3. All right. And then I'm going to have Pepper Potts generate 2 resources for strength because I want to put in Daredevil. So that's 2. And then foiled is 3. And 2 for strength. And Power of Justice will be another 2 for 4. So Daredevil is going to come in with 3. And he will thwart for 2. And take it off of this scheme here, which will drop it to 1, or drop it to 2. And I'm going to deal the damage over here to this Macrobot because I have to. He can't take damage while this in play. Nick Fury will deal 2 damage himself to the Macrobots, dropping him to 1. And he'll take the Retaliate, which will drop him to 1. And then I'm going to flip to Iron Man. One of my Power Gauntlets will finish off these Macrobots to get them out of the way. And he won't take any Retaliate damage because he defeated him. And then I'll use the Rocket Boots to go aerial and to discard War Machine for the mental resource that I need. And so I'm going to use my Power Gauntlets to deal 2 damage to this King, and that's all I need to defeat him. So when defeated, to remove the Chronopolis from the game. So I'll do that. And then at the end of the phase, join another game area, which means I don't go to phase 3 yet. That's okay. And so then I will use Arc Reactor to ready Iron Man, thwart for 2 off of this Corrupted Time Stream. And it doesn't have any when defeated effects. But I did defeat a side scheme, so I'm going to exhaust Skilled Investigator to let me draw a card. And it is Power of Justice. So I'm going to hold on to that because I'm going to put Under Surveillance in when I get to stage 3. And that's going to do it. So I'm going to ready everything. And so at the end of the phase is when I join the other game area. So let me go ahead and ready everything. I've got 3 allies in and a lot of cards. I know you can't really see Nick Fury, but he's over here. And I can draw up to 7. So I will do that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so at the end of the phase, we're going to move to another game area, which will be the Master of Time. So players join this game area unless there are no other game areas remaining, and there's only one. And when all players have joined this, advance to stage 4A. So King of Mortis is going to go. We're going to bring out 4A, and let me find that. And that is King's Wrath. So reveal King 3 and add him to the game area. Reveal each face down King's Dominion under the stage. There wasn't any. So King 3 is King the Conqueror. He'll come in with toughness, and then it's like before. You place 1 threat, or he gets +2 attack whenever he attacks. All right, and so he will come in with toughness. And he will also come in with 25 hit points, so quite a bit. But I think Iron Man can handle it. I hope Iron Man can handle it. And then when we flip, we got each player searches the encounter deck discard pile and set aside area for his Nemesis minion, puts it into play, and then I'll shuffle the encounter deck. And I got Whiplash right here, so he's going to come into play with 4 hit points. And then I'll shuffle the encounter deck, and we will move to the villain phase. Okay, so start of the stage 3 and 1 threat on the main scheme. He's going to attack, and I'm going to give him the +2 attack because Nick Fury is going to take it. So it's going to be 5, 6. This card gains boost for each obligation in play area. There isn't one, so just 6. So Nick Fury is done. And then Whiplash will attack for 3. I'll have Mockingbird take that. So she's done. And then the encounter card will be Time Travel Hijinks. Discard the highest cost card you control, then place it face down under this card. And unfortunately, that is Daredevil. And that really sucks. I was going to use him to help me get rid of that tough, but I guess I won't now, because he's going to have to go underneath the Time Travel Hijinks. And we are back to Iron Man. The first thing I'm going to do is put in Jessica Jones with Foiled and Genius for 2-3. And she'll come in with 3 health. All right, and I'll decide what I'm going to do with her in a minute. And then I'm going to have Pepper Potts generate the 2 resources from Genius to put under Surveillance Sins, and now that's 10 out of 14. I'm going to use Rocket Boots to go Aerial. And I'm going to hit Whiplash for 2 with my gauntlets, which means, so I'll drop him down to 2, but he will take a damage down to 9 because he has Retaliate 1. But then the other 2 from the gauntlets will remove Whiplash from the game. All right, and then I'm going to have Jessica Jones attack Kang up here to knock the tough off of him. And then I'm going to Repulsor Blast with my other Repulsor Blast. So, discard 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 damage to Kang. So it's going to go 25 down to 16. Okay, and then I'm going to have the Mark V helmet. Remove this thread over here. I'm going to have Iron Man attack for 1. Arc Reactor Ready attack for another one for 2. Dropping him down from 16 to 14. And he's got 9 hit points. I do have a blocker. So I think I'm just going to ready Iron Man and stay here for 1 more turn at least. And maybe I'll be able to finish the game. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to draw up to 7. Okay, so 1 threat on the main scheme. And he's going to attack. I'm going to put another threat because I'm going to have Iron Man take this. I'm going to put another threat up here. So he'll just attack for 3, 4, 5, 6. Ouch. So 9 down to from 9 down to 3. And the encounter card, though, will be Rampage. When defeated, discard cards from the top of the deck until a minion is discarded. Hopefully that won't be much of an issue. It comes in with 4. And it does have an acceleration token, but there is a chance I can win because I do have a supersonic punch. So we're going to see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to use my Rocket Boots to go Aerial using Stark Tower for that. And so Jessica Jones is going to go 2. Power Gauntlet 4. The other Power Gauntlet 6. Iron Man 7. Ready him for 8. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. That's going to drop him down from 14 to 6. And then I'm going to Supersonic Punch with the 2 resources. I'll just clean up my area and discard that. It's going to be a total of 8 damage. He only has 6 left, and that's going to do it. Well, he had a much easier time than Spider-Man did in my last game that I won on Expert on solo with Spider-Man. I used the Master of Time. It was the medium difficulty, supposedly more difficult than Temporal, but not as difficult as the Anachronauts. But Iron Man was able to pull it off. And I think I did everything right. I don't think I made too many rules errors. Now, he did finish with 3 health. But again, I think I did it. But, you know, once Iron Man gets built up, if he's able to get built up, he is pretty unstoppable. And I think we saw that here. So, Iron Man defeats Expert Kang with the Master of Time power set. And I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. If you did, please consider to like and subscribe. And make sure you hit the notification bell for any future videos I may have coming out. So you'll know when those will come out. And until that time, I'll save you a seat at the table. Take it easy.